Hi future millionaires, welcome back to Debt to Millionaire. I'm John. Today I just wanted to do a really quick video to mark this point in time as the moment where it's the start of a business that's going to be absolutely massive in the future. So an entrepreneurial friend of mine and myself have been building out this business for about 2 months now, and it's become apparent that so many people are going to want it. There's already a distinct market of about 2 billion people for who this is going to be at least somewhat relevant, and a lot of them are going to want it. There's just no other business like it that already exists. It's one of those rare circumstances where my friend came up with this idea for a business, and it's just so... he said it in about 2 sentences on the phone, and then I was just like, yes, I'm in, we're doing it. Like, it's so obviously a giant gap in the market, and so many people are going to want it, but it's just not been done yet. The business will be related to content creation, which is a massive market, obviously, and there's still so much room to grow. Like, no one's saying, oh, no content creators who start up now can't become massive. That's just not true. There's so many people exploding on, say, TikTok, and over just a course of a few days, they get hundreds of thousands of followers. Or on YouTube, people can go from 0 to 1 million subscribers in less than a year. So the business that we're going to be creating is going to be piggybacking off of the growth of the content creation market. I'm certain that this business is going to become my new main thing, my focus. It's definitely going to be something that's going to take up a lot of my time and thought space. It already has. We've only been working on it for 2 months, and I'm just really excited to continue working on it. I realise that as I'm saying it'll become my new focus, it sounds quite weak because, well, anyone who's successful at anything from business to sports to being an artist, they'll tell you that consistency is key. If you don't stick at a business for more than a few months or even a couple or a few years, you're not going to become the best in the industry. There's just no chance. You have to stay with it long enough and not scatter your focus and just jump between ventures. Knowing this, I'm not going to be abandoning my sort of pursuit to grow my short-term rentals business, which I've been working on really intensely for 1.5 years, getting on for 2 years now. And the reason is, I wouldn't want everything I've done so far just to go to waste. So I've built up a bit of a team, myself, my business partner, and also a contracted cleaner. I've developed systems so that most of the business runs on autopilot. I've built up capital, and just all of the expertise needed to run and grow the business. So there's no point just flushing that down the toilet just because something new and shiny comes along. But with that said, there are 2 fundamental problems with the short-term rentals business that this new business that I'm talking about in this video isn't going to have. I know that I can grow the short-term rentals business from its current revenue, which is getting on for £100,000 per year. I know I can grow that up to over £1 million a year, or even getting on to £5 million a year. It's just a case of rinse and repeating what I've already done. So I've got 3 short-term rental properties now. So if I just 10x that, 30 properties, then the annual revenue will be £1 million, and that's not so inconceivable that I could make that happen. But to get to, say, £100 million of revenue or £1 billion of revenue, that would take probably 50 years if it would be achievable at all, just because it would require so much management of people. It'd just be a big logistical nightmare. And each of those properties and all those extra staff would also massively increase the overhead costs. And with this new business that I'm announcing basically the start of in this video, that's not going to have any of those physical or financial scaling problems because it's going to be an entirely digital platform, nothing physical, and the overhead costs won't expand very much as new customers, new users come on board. So that's one of the 2 fundamental problems with the short-term rentals business of why it's not going to remain my main focus. And the second of the 2 problems is that, well, I didn't start doing it because I love short-term accommodation and because I love guests and providing them with a nice place to stay. That's just not a passion of mine. I started it for the money, and the money will come, but with this new business, it does have the potential to get to hundreds of millions or even billions of pounds in annual revenue within a reasonable amount of time. And the new business is going to be based around both finance and economics and also computer science, because building it is going to be quite a techie thing. I have a computer science degree, so I love all that kind of stuff already. That was already a passion of mine, building tech stuff. And also, ever since I graduated from university, I've just become really passionate about finance and all things economics. So it just makes sense that I would shift my focus onto something which combines my two major passions and has basically unlimited revenue potential. So since about 2 months ago, when my friend Jake called me up out of the blue while I was in one of my service departments sorting something out, he called me, I answered, I said, I can't talk, I'm really busy. He said, I might have the idea of the century here. And I was like, okay, fine, tell me really quick. And he said it just in maybe 1 or 2 sentences, and I completely forgot about everything else I was doing at that moment. And I just stood there and spoke to him on the phone for about 10 or 15 minutes about the idea. And I just knew that like this is the next big thing. That's why I'm making this video, just to document that this is the start. So when it is massive, you don't really know what I'm talking about yet, but when it is massive, I'll refer back to this video. Once Jake and I had sort of planned out the business from a high level, we knew that there were certain roadblocks that might come up. The first port of call was to get some free consultations with some lawyers. We just sent loads of messages to different law firms, and a couple responded and were happy to do some free consultations. They gave us informal advice. They gave us confidence that we're not going to have a problem in terms of laws and regulations that will stop us doing what we want to do. Then we needed to validate the economics side of the business concept, so we spoke to that assistant professor of finance. He validated that it is a good idea and that it is feasible and that we're onto something.
It is an interesting idea, so congrats to you guys for that. I think it's a good idea. It was quite unique when you mentioned it. It's a good idea, guys.
Every single person we've spoken to and explained the idea to, they've said it's a great idea. A quick side note on ideas, actually. Everyone has ideas. I keep referencing this idea for a business, but so many people have ideas, and ideas alone are worthless because they're not providing any value to anyone, they're not creating any revenue, any money for you or for anyone else. So ideas on their own are worthless. What is valuable is the successful implementation or execution of an idea. We need to move on to fundraising because, well, me being a computer scientist, I could, in theory, build out the platform myself. I could just code it all, but it would take me forever. It would take me way more than a year. And to be honest, I don't have that much commercial experience writing full software platforms, full stack, every single part of it, doing it myself. In any reasonable amount of time, it's just not going to happen. So we need money to hire an app development company where they've got teams of 10 to 100 people. We'll pay them a big chunk of money, probably between 50 and 150,000 pounds, and then they would make sure that it's all nice, clean code, efficient, created in a reasonable amount of time. So we need to raise those funds. In my opinion, there are 2 main options for fundraising for this particular business concept. The first one will be an angel investor, which is an individual who invests in startups, so they have money, but they don't just give you the money and then walk away. They might bring industry knowledge and sort of mentor us, and they'd also bring contacts to get the business in front of the right people to then take it to that next level. And the second option for funding is a startup accelerator, which is similar, but is like a program that accepts lots of different startups at the same time and just in a big batch provide mentoring and contacts, and they fund each and every one of them. Jake's got experience already raising funds from angel investors, because last year in 2020 he actually raised, I'm not sure exactly how much money it was, but he got a tech startup that he just sort of had the idea for and then developed into something, and he managed to get it valued at £1 million and got people, private investors, angel investors, to give him money to develop the business at a valuation of £1 million. So Jake has got a good experience doing that, and I'm going to be working on the application for arguably the best startup accelerator in the world, for tech companies at least, and that is called Y Combinator. A lot of massive companies have come out of the Y Combinator accelerator program, including Airbnb, DoorDash, Reddit. I'll keep giving you sort of update videos like this one as we progress in the business, and then aspiring entrepreneurs will be able to look back at this video and just sort of see how it started, how it was just a good idea. We knew it was good from the start. We reached out to different people, and now we're moving into the fundraising stage, and hopefully you can follow the subsequent journey as it happens and just see that it is possible. So hit that subscribe button to keep getting those updates of the business progress, and also while you're down there, really lightly tap the like button. Thanks so much for watching. This is Debt to Millionaire, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.